G'day, Grant Norris with you here again from More Than Music Mentor. I'm so pleased you decided to watch this video. It's going to be good, isn't it, Dave?
I hope so.
Yeah, Dave Wright, audio engineer extraordinaire, author of the book Sound in the Gospel, that I think pretty much anyone who's involved with audio, especially in the church, should be checking that book out. And we've been doing some of these More Than Music workshops together, and I know that you're spending most time with the technicians of a church, and I'm spending most time with the instrumentalists and the singers, but also we come together when it's like this interaction between the two.
Yep.
So for a person like me, I realise the importance of great working relationship with the technicians, but I really don't know what's going on here very much at all. It's like, I know what I want it to sound like in the room,
Right.
and I just have to trust and have a good relationship with the audio tech. So I know one of the things you're talking about with the technicians is this idea of circular mixing. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, sure. Well, Grant, have you ever been to a concert before?
Yeah, I've actually been on the stage for quite a few
I
concerts
didn't know
over
that.
the years.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
Which always involves a sound check, hopefully,
Yeah.
before the audience walks in.
well, then you probably know that the headliner often takes most of the sound check time, and the opening acts only get like maybe 5 or 10 minutes. So the opening act oftenly doesn't sound very good when they start out.
Yeah.
But you'll hear the engineer quickly be bringing up instruments and different things. You'd be like, oh, there's the vocal, oh, there's electric, oh, here's the... And by the end of their set, they're kind of sounding okay.
Yeah, just as we say, thank you, good night,
Yes,
we
and-
finally sound good at the end of our set. Yeah.
So essentially what that engineer is doing, he's doing a circular mixing pattern where he's critically thinking of his priorities, and he'll bring up kick, bass, snare, guitar, keys, vocal. And
It's like building the building from the floor up.
Exactly.
Starting with the foundational sort of low-end, power-punching, subwoofer sort of sound,
Yep.
and then working the way up.
yeah, just like you bring that kick up to where it's a place where you want it, and you often have the kick and the bass living about the same volume, so that's such a
Pleased
good...
to hear you say that as a
Yeah.
bass guitarist.
Yeah,
I
I
love
know.
the idea of kick and bass being one thing.
Yeah, they're supposed to. And then the snare, and then you got your whole rhythm section there, and you bring in your guitars for your melody, and then keys hold the whole thing together, and then you think of the vocals, get that sitting on top of everything, and then you start the whole process over. And it isn't a volume thing; it's a priority as I'm thinking about it. And granted, that's for like a concert situation, but a lot of times I'm in church and we have limited time to get going, so we can't do a full sound check like that. But I'll often get the main vocal up so that the worship leader can interact with the band and with me. And a lot of times we'll jump into a song, but I'm still critically thinking that pattern. I want to look at the stage and hear everything on stage. And so I'll be doing that whole pattern all over again: kick, bass, snare, guitar, keys, vocal. And then I'll start inserting the instruments that are added for that day, like the acoustic guitar, the cello, the tom tube,
Whatever it is,
whatever
yeah.
it is. I start inserting that into my pattern, because a mix never just happens. It's a process, and you never stop working.
I'm pleased to hear you say that, because some, especially the volunteer amateur variety sound engineer in a church situation, I think they can sometimes think that I'm supposed to just bring the sounds up and then I'm kind of done. It's like just sitting near the console and just sort of waiting till it's done. Like that. And it's not like that at all. I'd like to think that the audio engineer is as much a musician as anybody else on the platform.
Absolutely.
And probably has, I think definitely has more influence on the overall sound than any individual who is on the platform.
Indeed.
So we've got to have that sound check, and there's got to be a system, and it's not just once around the circle you're done. You're saying around this circle of priority, and then go around again, and then go around again, and keep working that sound and adjusting things to make the sound as inviting as possible.
Yeah, and if you don't know about the mix, if you're unsure about it, ask the worship leader, ask part of the band. It's just like we're collaborating artists. So we're working on this together, and you're not in this alone. So
Teamwork. And what we're trying to do here is craft a sound in the room that helps people find their own voice for prayers to God, praises of God, reminders of truth about God, declarations of truth over each other. It's hugely important stuff. It's not near enough is good enough. It's like, this is powerful stuff, and I'm really pleased to work with you, Dave, and let's see if we can help churches get this idea of circular mixing and having a sound check. Please have a sound check.
Please have a sound check.
Yeah, let's get that established into the culture.